Here we go. Okay, so everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David, Baruch Hashem. It's another lovely day here in Eretz Yisrael. Every day is Baruch Hashem. And again, we are learning for the well-being of our soldiers and our captives that Hashem should bring them all home safely, speedily, and rid the world from the evil. Okay. All right, so today we're going to continue our lessons with Siyata Deshmaya, of course. We're learning Hilchos HaShachar and Likutey Halachos. We're in Halacha Hey, and today we're up to Mem Beis 42, so 542. All right? All right, so we were talking a lot about this idea of the mikveh, and when you have to wait till the end of the day in order for the purification to set in. Remember, we learned a lot about that, right? So now we're going to talk about, now, Reb Nosson is going to go a little bit deeper now, all right? Really, what does it mean? What does it really mean when the sun sets? Here we go. You ready? All right? So here we go. V'gam das navon nokel. Shezeh posik bo hashemesh v'tor V'acha yoichel min hakodesh merames al bias shimshoi b'yoyim ha'acharoin be'eis b'tirosai. It's also referring to the last day of a person's life, right? When the sun sets, then he can eat from the kodesh. What does that mean? What does that mean? So let's just understand something like this. You know, when it comes to a person that's impure, and let's say a regular person has whatever he was either became in contact with a dead person, right? A dead person, or he was a mitzorah, right? Or he was a zov, right? Or the person was a balkeh, whatever it is. He had to, in order for him to get purified, he has to first do something. He has to dip in the mikveh, right? Right. He can wait all he wants. But if he doesn't go to dip into the water, he's not going to be pure, right? Got it? So really this is referring to our lives, right? All our life we're working every day to connect to the Ratzon Hashem, right? We're always working on connecting to the Ratzon Hashem. And when we connect to the Ratzon each day, we're purifying ourselves. That's how we purify ourselves. So that means at the end of our life, at 120, right, at the end of our life, so that final day, all of those good things, all of those ritzonos, all of those good actions, all of the good things that we did, come and join us. They're there. They're there for us. They're there for us. Nothing gets lost. You realize that every time you do a mitzvah, you create another malach. Right? We know that, right? So isn't that an amazing idea that at the end, the last day of a person's life, he meets all these malachim?
Yeah, but it works on the other side too.
Oh no, I understand. Wait, hold on a second. Hold on.
Right.
No, we're talking. We're in the camp here that we're doing the right thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in that camp. Okay. Right. No, so just think about that, right? You worked each day, and you were working, and you whatever you were doing, right? You made the Nate's minion, you put on your tefillin, your tala, right? You gave tzedakah, whatever you did, right? Whatever you did, all of those things are there. It's unbelievable. But if a person goes through his life and he doesn't work on purifying himself, like we said, if the person didn't go to the mikveh, right? He can wait all the time he can wait. But if he didn't go to the mikveh, the sun setting means nothing. So too in a person's life, if he doesn't work on purifying himself through his entire life, so then he can't eat from the kodshim, which is in Shemayim, right? In heaven. Okay. Right? In heaven, he can eat from the kodshim. That's what we're really talking about. That's how it pertains to all of us, right? Like we said, we're all Kohanim, right? In the time when Mashiach is going to come, right? So then the entire world will realize that we are the chosen people, and they will be fighting with each other to do things for us. Could you believe that? Could you imagine that? Biden will be fighting with Putin. No, I'm going to do something good for the Jews. No, I'm going to do something good for the Jews. Can you believe that? What a funny sight, right? That'll be a funny sight, right? No, it's just something to laugh.
Yeah.
Something nice, right? Yeah.
And Biden will come straight.
Is the end of the life, and then he's saying in Shemayim, and then but there's also then there's the times of Mashiach. It's 2 different days.
Yeah, no. Here we're talking about the person's leaving, checking out.
Checking out. So, like we're saying the Haggadah, we said Mishana Nachal Min HaSvachim
Psachim, and Psachim not Zochim, right.
Yeah, but that's this.
Yeah. Okay, Be'ez B'tirosai, because it says Be'ez B'tirosai, right? Shu Bechinas Bias HaShemesh Shel Kol Yemei Chaya. That's the final sun setting of the person's life. That's his final setting. What? Sheyesh Sheikir Gemar Tarosa Yisker Rak Acher Bia Shimshay Legamri. So the final rectification can happen on that final day. The Gemara in Yuma, there's a Gemara in Yuma that speaks about this, right? The Gemara in Yuma speaks about and tells us that there are certain things that only Misa is mechaper, right? There are certain things that only death can bring kapara to the person. The prime example is Achilul Hashem, right? If a person desecrates Hashem's name in the world, right? So then that he cannot do tshuva, because he set his desecration in the world. Something came. So the only thing that'll forgive him, says the Gemara, for Achilul Hashem would be the day of death. But again, that's if he did tshuva. Right? If the person doesn't do tshuva, so then the misa will not be mechaper. The misa will not bring him his rectification. What? Is there another word? I don't know.
Salvation.
No, it's not salvation. Atonement. Atonement. Here we go. I like that one. That's good. That was Sasha good. Okay, that was good. Okay. It brings him his atonement. That's good. Very good. His kapara, his atonement. Very good. No, so you understand? In other words, it's because he did something, again, like we said, when the kohen goes to the mikvah, when the night sets in, which is the next day, he can eat his kachim, right? So too with us, when every day we do our tshuva, we're working on it. So on that final day, we can get the kapara because again we're working on tshuva, right? Okay. Any questions on this? This is a pretty interesting concept, right? Right? Okay. Uchein Shomra Beiseinu Zal, sheyesh kama v'kama she'afal pi she'osu tshuva v'hoya lehem yisurim. That there are many people, right? There are many people that even though they did their sins, they did tshuva, they even had different troubles in their life. They went through their troubles. Adayin tshuva. Right, the tshuva v'yom kippur v'yisurim toilin ad yom hamisa shemechaper. Right, so we know, right, we know that when the Yom Kippur comes, hey, you get forgiveness, right? We got forgiveness. Okay, but you got forgiveness, yes, but it's not a complete atonement. It's not a complete atonement until that day of death. Death will bring in the atonement. But again, that's if the person did the tshuva. You understand? That's the very important caveat.
Otherwise,
the death doesn't mean that doesn't do anything.
he has Gehenna.
That's all. That's it. Yeah, right.
Then the only thing you can have, he said, it's going to work.
Yeah, but isn't it much nicer this way, right? Yeah. Okay. No, but it's a very important thing to think about, right? Every day we do our tshuva, right? We never know. No one has a guarantee. No one has a guarantee how long we're going to live, right? So that's why every single day before we go to sleep, we always make an accounting, and we ask Hashem to forgive us because hey, I don't know, right? No one knows. Okay, Val Kain, Kol mi shehu bechina zois, im yipol chas v'sholem bedatay, machma zeh, she'oiva olav, lo yizke gam acher yoyim amisa, shu acher bia shimshoy lecha min hakachim. A person should never give up hope. He should never ever give up hope and think, oh, what, I did all of these things, and how is this going to work? How can I get my forgiveness? Right? The person was living his life a certain way, and then he decided, I'm going to be serious now. Right? Now he realizes, wait, look at all these things that I did. Right? But he has to understand. So if he does tshuva on those things, of course he will get we can do tshuva on anything. Right? Tshuva works on everything. Right? Rabbi Nachman taught us about the tikkun hakloli, right? The tikkun hakloli, which is Zoya said, you can't do tshuva on certain things, right? But Rabbi Nachman said, no, here's the tikkun hakloli, say the tikkun hakloli. Do this and give the tzedakah. You get a kapar. We can get kapar. We just have to do what we have to do. Okay, and never think, chas v'sholem, that if you did something, you can't make it right. Right? You can make it. You can always make it right by doing tshuva. And again, if it's such a certain thing that the person did that he can't get his atonement until that final day, okay, so he'll get his atonement on that final day. The same way the Kohen, he wants to eat his kachim. He wants to eat that food. He can't do it until the night comes. Right? He went to the mikveh. Right? He can't. He has that beautiful meat. He's preparing his steak. Right? He got the meat, right? Hey, this is good. He can't eat it. He wants it, right? The same way we want our kapar, we want different things, but we can't get it until that day. Which is okay. But again, the day comes. Ki bevadai hatome ligamre v'loi tovel adayin ein moya loi he'erev hashemesh. See that? Right, that's the other guy, right? Reb Simcha, Rebbe, before you were saying, right. So now we're talking about the other guy. So bevadei hatome legamri, if someone is completely defiled, he's completely defiled. He's not working on connecting to the Ratzon Hashem. He's not working on getting closer to Klal Yisrael. He's not working on no, he's not. He's totally tummy. He's a tummy person. He's a defiled person. V'loi tovel, and he didn't do tshuva. He didn't go to the mikveh. He wasn't tovel. He didn't do anything. You understand? Adayin ein moya lo ya'ir shemesh. So then the hair of shemesh is not going to, it won't help him at all. You understand? It's only if we do something the same way the person is impure and he dips in the mikveh, then the night comes, it affects his atonement. So to here, if the person didn't, but if that same person did not go to the mikveh, the night sets in, but he doesn't have any atonement because he didn't do anything. You understand?
You can still go to the mikveh now and get the atonement.
Of course, while the person's alive, he can go to the mikveh, yeah. He can do tshuva, right? Even a thought of tshuva, that's good. but he has to do something, right? You have to do something. Okay, the rock is there. She is.
You said there's no tshuva for Achil of Hashem.
You can do tshuva, but you don't get the final atonement until that day of death.
Oh, okay.
The death brings the final atonement.
Okay.
Because yes, he can do tshuva. Of course, he can do tshuva, but it's still hanging.
Yeah.
It doesn't get totally removed. It gets totally removed with that.
Got it. Thanks.
Okay, does that make sense? You got it now? Okay. No, everything. No, David. Everything tshuva works. Everything tshuva works. It's just a matter depending on when it will totally be erased.
Yeah.
All right. But then we learned the idea that a person can do tshuva me'ahava, right? If you do tshuva me'yira, because I'm scared. Oh, I realize I did this. I'm scared. So then the avera can get erased. But we said really we're supposed to strive is to do tshuva me'ahava, and we can take that iniquity and turn it into a merit.
Wow, that's amazing.
Right? Take that iniquity and turn it into a merit.
That's amazing.
It is amazing that we can do that. We learned all about it, right?
Yeah.
So we just have to just remember it and put it into practice. Now, rak zeh sheyisyageh kol yomav b'chol ma she'ova olav v'yischazek b'rotzon. Only that person that worked all his life, or again, he worked in that time when all his life means he got to that date that he did his tshuva, right? Again, because don't remember something. Hashem sets us up. Hashem sets us up, and Hashem puts us in all the situations that we are in our life, right? We're born to the family that we're born to. We're born to the place that we're born to. We didn't choose these things, right? We didn't choose these things, right? Right? And so again, and we didn't necessarily choose what school we'll go to, right? We just found ourselves in the school, right? Right? We didn't know who the people will be in our class, right? We didn't know who our teachers would be. We had no idea, right? There's nothing to do with us, right? It just happened, right? So Hashem doesn't hold that against us. And those are the situations. But Hashem wants to say, now what did you do? Oh, but you were able to find Hashem even through all of those things. So then that's when the life began. That's when his life really began, when he found Hashem. And again, the person's is not going to be held accountable because he grew up in a home that they fed him not kosher food. Right? It happened. Right? It happens. Right? People are born into a family. They don't eat kosher food in the house. Right? So what, is he going to be held responsible? No. What was he supposed to do? How was he supposed to know? Mamash Tinak Shenishba, right? He had no idea. But here we're talking about, and I don't want anyone to walk away with the wrong thing. Rav Dawson said he worked his entire life. Oh, what about me? I only started, when I was 29. I only started when I was 46. Hey, what about me? No, but that means also that when we started, when the person entered the program of the Ratzon Hashem, that's the time. That's the time when his life actually started. You understand? In other words, and the person can still do tshuva for those things that he wasn't necessarily accountable for, that he had no idea about, right? That he had no idea about. Okay, shetavo b'mikveh v'hischil b'chol yoim l'tar atzmai, and he worked every day on connecting to Hashem. He said the Shema. Right, he said the brach, he said kadosh, kadosh. Right, he did all the things that he's supposed to do each and every day. He worked on it. Afal pi sheloi also biyadei litar b'shleimus. Okay, but he didn't. He wasn't completely. He didn't have a complete purification. It wasn't b'shleimus. It wasn't complete. Afal pi chen leis reusa tava disavid. Are the famous words of the Zohar. These are the most famous words, right? The leis Ru'usa tava dis avid. That no machshava that a person has, a good thought, will ever be lost. It's never lost. So could you imagine if a machshava wouldn't be lost? If you said something? Words. Right? You said something. Hashem, I want to be close to you. Hashem, help me, Hashem. Right? If you had a thought that didn't get lost, could you imagine if you actually said something?
Masa.
Or did something. Oh, of course, no, that's great. No, but here we're saying that even a thought of tshuva, right? Like we said that thing with the famous Gemara where he had that Rosh Hashanah. He said that he tells the lady that I would like to marry you. I'm a nasnada t'ani tzadik gomer, right? Remember that, right? He had the Rosh. Remember that story? Remember that case? Right? There's a guy outside that you see he's not a good guy, right? He's driving in his car on Shabbos, right? And he's smoking a cigarette and he's eating a ham sandwich, right? And then Sunday morning, he goes over to a lady. He says, I'm going to marry you on condition that I'm a complete tzaddik. So what happens? The Gemara said it's a suffix kedushin. Yeah. Why should it be a suffix kedushin? Why is it there's a doubt if that kedushin worked? Why? Because the Gemara says Shema Hira Tshuva. Shema Hira Tshuva. That's what the Gemara says. Shema, maybe. He had a thought of tshuva.
And then that could put him in a category of a complete tzaddik?
That's what the Gemara said. You heard that? I didn't.
Yeah, I know.
But let's think about the words. Shema Hira Tshuva. And because of that, what? It is a suffix kedushin. This lady can't marry a Kohen then.
So this is saying that no thought is lost. Everything is.
Yeah.
But the other hand, we're not punished for our thoughts, right?
We're not.
We're
No,
punished for our acts.
okay, you okay. One second. So you keep going down to the other side. Let's go on the positive camp, right? Any positive thought.
Yeah, I know.
Any positive thought. Okay, if you wanted to do something, right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu can take the machshava and consider it a ma'isa, an action, right? In other words, if you thought you really want to do something, you want to do a mitzvah, right? And you become an oinus, you just can't. It doesn't work, right? But then HaKadosh Baruch Hu is mitzaref the machshava to the ma'isa. He connects the thought as if you did the action. Is that amazing?
Yeah.
But that's what works on the positive. Right, that works on the positive. Although there is a carbon ola where if a person had a thought of avodah zarah chas v'shalom, right? Let's say a person had a thought of avodah zarah, then he would have to bring a carbon ola. That's for thoughts,
Okay, so
right? The complete burnt offering, a burnt offering, right? The complete burnt offering, right? Because that thought was terrible, you have to just burn it, totally burnt, right? Okay. Umikol shekei. A dibur toiv, umasa toiv. You see that, Yossi?
yeah.
Right, a good word or a good action that we did. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Ad sheyiska sheyushlam tarosai acha bia shimshei biyoyma ya'achron. On that final day, whatever that day is, to know that every day you're doing all of the things that you're doing to get closer to Hashem. All of those things count. Nothing gets lost. Even though you don't always feel that you're accomplishing what you want to accomplish. Right? But that makes it even greater. Because then the next day you try it again. You understand? In other words, if we would always accomplish everything we set out to accomplish, right? So then what would be the challenge? I want to do something good, I always get it done. There's no challenge. There's no challenge, right? But if I don't get it done each time, and I'm working on it, but I still don't accomplish it, but I try again, and I try again, and I try again, that is amazing. You understand? The fact that I keep trying again, that's so precious to Hashem. That's so precious that we're trying. Amazing, right? And then the person can have, listen, it goes like this. He's gonna bring something amazing now. Let's continue. And then you'll see it. Okay. Okay. Shehu v'chelkai hatoiv lo'olam haba. That's his chelik hatoiv in olam haba. Sheyiska elav takef acha bia shimshay, that he gets instantly. See what it says? Takef. What does takef mean? Instantly. Takef means instantly after he checks out of this world. How do you like that? Right away, instantly you get your reward. The same way the Kohen that went to the mikveh, and then the 3 stars come out there. Right then, at that moment, he can have his steak. He can eat his fruit, whatever was given to him. He can have it. So to us, on that final day, we get our reward in Olam Haba right away. But lo yitztarech lizgalgel. And the person wouldn't have to come and be reincarnated again. Reincarnation, right? Rabbi Nachman says that when we go upstairs, and they say to the person, you were a pretty good guy, but you had these and these problems here. So we'll send you back into the world. We'll send you back into the world. And you'll fix it. Rabbi Nachman says, don't take the deal. Say, I'll take the punishment, whatever it is. Don't take the deal, because you never know. You come back in the world, you never know. You never know what will happen.
Don't take the deal.
He says, don't take the deal. Don't take it. Good morning. Don't take the deal. But why? The person doesn't have to come and be reincarnated again. He wouldn't have to do the things that the person that didn't do any preparation in his life. The person was living his life happy-go-lucky. He wasn't involved in anything of getting closer to Hashem, anything of connecting to his neshama at all, right? So that person is going to have a lot of problems, right? That person is going to have a lot of problems. But someone that was working all his life to connect to Hashem, those years, like we said, right? Though that person is going to be fine. Kiyaz b'yoyim ha'achrei miskapsim kol ma shechotav toy b'zeh oilam b'yoyim b'chol yoyim v'yoyim. How do you like that? At that final day, everything's is collected. Everything's collected together that you were able to snatch each and every day. It's all there for you. You see the fruit of your toil. You see it. Everything is there. Kol rotzain v'rotzain toiv shohaya loy b'chol yoyim v'yoyim. Any good thought that the person had, any time he tried to get closer to Hashem, anytime, like we said, a thought, a speech, or action. He said something, he spoke something, or he did something. Kol yemei chayav, all the days of his life, v'rak zeh hu tikvosai v'ashrosai lenetzach. That will be his hope, and that's what he has for the future, for eternity. Excuse me. Was yodeya v'yovin kol echad ve'echad hachiluk shebein mi sheishtadel v'rodav acher hatachlos b'retzoynes chazokim b'chol yom afal pi sheloi zocha ela b'shleimus. And then we'll see in the Olam Ha'emes, it'll be shown who worked very hard, even though he didn't complete his kapara, he didn't complete his atonement in the world. It doesn't matter. But all of those things, everything is there. Everything is wonderful. Each time we have a good thought, each time we say something good, I say, Hashem, I want to be closer to you. Hashem, help me. Any kind of thought we say, you understand? Anytime we do something, right? We go to daven, we do the mitzvahs that we do. These things are all there for us. Certainly then, the next guy that didn't make any ishtadlus at all. He didn't put any effort in at all. Right? It'll be very, very clear. It'll be very, very clear in the world to come. V'shavtem v'risem bein tzaddik l'rosha. You'll be able to see over there, right, between the tzaddik and the rasha. What is that? The Gemara says, "Sheyichilek afilu mi sheshana pirkai meya pa'amim lemi sheshana pirkai meya pa'amim ve'achad." You'll see the difference. You hear, this is amazing. Let me explain this to you. This is an amazing concept here. The Gemara says that there's a very big difference between someone that studies something. He goes over his learning 100 times, and he goes over his learning 101 times. It's a totally, totally different experience. Totally different. Why is that? 100 is the Samach Mem. 100 is the Yetzer Hara. So long as he's doing something just 100 times, he's connected still in the world of the Yetzer Hara. 101 is the Malach Michael. Michael is 101.
This is either amazing or depressing, in a sense, because you say to yourself, going over something 100 times, it's gewaltig.
Yeah.
But now what we're saying is there's a issue with that, and 101 is a whole brave new world.
Whole new world. It's a whole different world.
So we have to do this 100 times?
You have to learn your learning. You should do it at least 101 times.
This is your 100th time.
So when I'm learning this is one that we're doing, right?
Yeah.
We have 100 more times to go.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you gonna be around for this?
You're so funny.
We'll do fast.
I hope I'll be okay. Listen.
Yeah, we'll hope.
You can't take him with you.
We're giving you the time now by
You want it?
talking.
Now I'm
We're
depressed.
giving you the time, the extra time
Okay.
to do this now.
Baruch Hashem, I accept. Okay. Umikol shekain v'kol shekain Bein hamishtadel le'ein mishtadel. Right, so much so. So here we see that the great difference. If a person studied 100 times, he's still in the world of the Samach Mem. He's still in the world of Teva. He's still in the world of he's in the world.
He's in this world.
But the person studies 101 times, it's a wholly different experience. Maybe we can understand it like this. A person, in Shemayim, what kind of house are you going to have in Shemayim, right? Are you going to have a little studio apartment, or maybe you can have a beautiful big 3, 4 bedroom, 5 bedroom house? Who knows? Maybe you'll have a villa, right? Between 100 times to 101 times, totally different experience, totally different thing. Maybe you'll be in a different neighborhood.
So I should pray for the poor man's home.
Well, I don't know.
101.
Why? No. In Shemayim you'll get your the big home in Metz Hashem to 101 times. The real real estate. That's the true real estate. That's one you keep for eternity.
You got Sri Lankans up there?
Huh? Oh, I don't know. To clean the house? Oh, he's worried if he has a big house, he's going to have to clean the house. Okay.
My
Probably in
mother used to call
Shemayim,
big houses wife killers. I said, if you got a big house, got that huge house, you can afford help. She says, you think help is easy? Help's a big problem. She says,
So smart.
you got to manage them.
She's so smart, yeah.
Yeah, no, but listen, David, it's not a physical house, so you understand. I'm just trying to help us understand.
self-cleaning. What is wrong with
I'm just trying to help. Okay.
There's no dirt.
No, you'll have a robot to clean up there. Don't worry about that. But
Yeah,
okay,
robot.
you'll have a
You're
robot.
just thinking of those little robots
Yeah.
that run around the room, yeah.
Yeah, they have big robots too. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back. Okay. Vayeka kefi his karvusay letzadike yames hanechlolim bezikenim dekdusha. But here, all of this is dependent if a person's connected to the tzaddikim, right? The teachings of the tzaddikim, right? If a person is constantly working and connected to the teachings of the tzaddikim, so then he'll be on the right path, correct? Right? Reb Nosson will always help us out. Rabbi Nachman is always there. All the tzaddikim. I'm biased to this, But anyone that any svarim that you're going to study, and you're going to take to heart, the teachings that you're going to take to heart will help guide the person to do the right thing, right? All the svarim are all pointing to Hashem Elokeichem emes. Hashem is emes, right? Emes, right? But I just feel that these svarim speak a little bit louder. That's all. All right. So basically, the more you connect to the tzaddikim, the more is the closer you can be for your salvation. Right. Ha'oiskim la'alois kol ha'naiflim v'arachoikim mi'oid me'oid me'mekoimim shehem l'rotzanelia. Right. The same way Moshe Rabbeinu was there to take us from Shmad l'rotzah. Remember we learned about Moshe Rabbeinu was Shmad l'rotzah. We said, what was Shmad? Shmad is any time we do something against Hashem. Right? When Hashem, against Hashem's will, that's Shmad. Right? That's Shmad. Anytime I do something, Hashem says do this, and I do that. Chas v'shalom, right? So then that is Shmad. And Moshe Rabbeinu is there to take us from the Shmad to bring us to the Rotzen Hashem. Right? Ashrei she'oiches bahem, how fortunate is he that connects to this idea, that connects to the tzaddikim, that understands this concept that we're learning here, this amazing concept. Again, Rav Nosson's discussing the first Mishnah in Brachas, right? When do you read the Shema? Oh, when the Kohanim come in to eat their truma, that's when you can say the Shema. And look what he drew out of that. Is that amazing? Right? Look what he drew out of this. Oh, now we're talking about today. We finished off that the sun's setting. The sun's setting, and the Kohanim being able to go in to eat their truma is really talking about our lives. It's really our lives. It's really the story of our lives, and the same way that if I work all my life connecting to Hashem, making tshuva on all the things that I did, so then that final day, The final day when the sun when the sun sets in that person's life, on that final day, that sun setting will bring him his final kapara that he needs. It's an amazing, beautiful, beautiful concept. But where are you gonna have that from? If you're connected to the teachings of the tzaddikim. You have to be connected to the teachings of the tzaddikim. Why? Because we learn. What's the whole point? What's the whole point of why there's so many svarim that there are in the world? Every day there's new svarim coming out because there's so much suffix, right? There's so much doubt, right? There's so much doubt. What am I? How do I do this? What do I do? Right? So the svarim are all coming out in order to help to give us more clarification, so we don't have to have this suffix. Remember, I'm just tying the lesson together where we started from. And if I work on learning the svarim, which gives me clarification, which keeps me in track, when each day that I realize I'm supposed to get closer to Hashem, so then via studying the svarim, via being connected to Hashem, via being connected and doing my mitzvahs like we learned about the tzedakah, and doing the mitzvahs that we do, so then we'll okay. Any questions on this?
So given that we read the Siddur 3 times a day, or pieces of it,
Yeah.
let's say the whole Siddur, so in 100 days, 101 days, we've studied it 101 times.
We prayed.
You prayed it. It wasn't
Prayed,
studied.
studied.
It wasn't studied. That was praying.
Well, in a sense, the teachings that are in the Tehillim and this
Yeah.
and that is studying in itself. I'm not saying that was we're not sitting here studying usually a Siddur, but look at all the tefillah. It comes from this Tehillim and this.
Well, Tehillim is part of Tefillah, right? We
Right.
incorporated Tehillim
So
into
what's the difference
Tefillah.
between tefillah and studying?
What's the difference between Tefillah?
You're
Okay,
studying now.
You're studying to get closer to Hashem. Tefillah is praying to Hashem. It's also getting closer to Hashem.
Right.
When you study Torah, you're studying the words of Hashem. We learned that all the Torah is Hashem's names. So you're getting closer to Hashem by studying Torah. Right? Tefillah is I'm trying to daven to Hashem for the things that I need. I want to praise Hashem, right?
But I ask Hashem for things I need all day long.
That's Tefillah. You're
And
praying.
in tefillah, I'm trying to understand what I'm saying, so I feel like I'm learning it at the same time while I don't know how to really. If I understand what I'm saying, I get something new from it every time.
Yes.
I'm not sure
Okay, so when it comes to tefillah, right? So if you're davening, if you're praying in Hebrew, let's say, right? So it's written in the Chavetz Chaim writes in Mishnah Berurah very clearly that Hebrew has some special power to it. That if you're praying the words in Hebrew, even if you don't understand the words, you're accomplishing what you have to accomplish. Okay. But then again, if you look in the Shulchan Aruch Harav, the Balatanya says, no, you have to understand your words. You have to understand your words.
He
Right?
says that, yeah.
Yeah, no. The Mishnah Berurah says you could study Hebrew, you could read Hebrew, and you're fine. The Balatanya says, no, you have to understand it. And you should rather daven in the language that you understand.
Ideally, you should
So-
learn Hebrew so you understand.
Well,
No.
obviously.
No, but- So what I do is I read the Hebrew for like the Amida
Yes.
and the Shema, and I also read the English.
Oh, that's wonderful. So that's perfect. Yeah.
So I can say it in Hebrew.
So you're
and
accomplishing both, right?
English. Yeah.
You're accomplishing both. Now
That's
you
why
said
I think
it.
part of it-
You said the Hebrew perfect. You said that nice. That's wonderful. And then you read it in the language you understand well. So then you accomplished it perfectly.
But it seems like when I do that, I'm learning something.
Of course you
Every
learn.
day I'm learning something because I do that. Every time I see the new one for
And because sooner or later you're going to understand those words in Hebrew because you read the English so many times. Oh, and that's what that word. Oh, what that word means.
you
You
know, I
right?
still don't get why.
I think he's saying something else.
What are you
wrong.
saying? What are you
I
saying?
think he's saying that when I'm using a Siddur and I'm concentrating on it, learning. It's
I'm learning at the
also-
same time I'm praying. It's
He's
like both.
learning, even though he's doing tefillah. It's you know.
Oh, you're saying okay. So you're learning about the tefillah because you're you're reading the English.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's not learning. That's still part of prayer. You're learning the prayer.
Well, you're saying it's praying because I'm in Shachrit and that's where I'm doing it. But
Yes.
I can't learn while I'm in Shachrit?
No, because when you're praying, you're not learning. When you're praying, you're praying. When you're learning, you're learning. Rabbi Nachman said, take your learning and turn it into a prayer.
Prayer, right.
Take your learning, turn it into a prayer. He didn't say that your learning is a prayer. Take your learning, turn the learning into a prayer. So first you learn, now I pray. When I'm praying, I'm not learning.
So, for example, today we're learning, and so he would turn today's learning into a tefillah. That would sound like what?
What do you mean? What we just learned today? Hashem, please let me get closer to you on a daily basis,
Right.
so I can accomplish what I'm supposed to accomplish on a daily basis. So that way I can affect atonement and forgiveness for the things that I did wrong, because I want to do tshuva. Hashem, please help me. So that way I can accomplish what I have to accomplish in this world.
Let me have good thoughts to be able to.
Yeah. And whatever, yeah.
Good morning, good morning, yeah.
That's it. And you do that afterwards. So, like for example,
Yeah, you can do it every day. Every day, after you learn anything, Hashem, let me teach me. Let me put this into practice in my life. Well, Hashem, I just learned this halach. Wow, this seems very hard, Hashem. Please help me accomplish this. I had no idea about this. You learned something new. You had no idea.
That's what the set of books, the 50th gate is. It's all Reb Noson's prayers.
Based on Likutey
What he
Moran.
learned.
Based on Likutey Moran. Each one of the tefillahs in Likutey tefillahs is Reb Noson turning the tefillah, the Torah into a
right, so
tefillah.
after he learned this, he wrote the 50th gate. He wrote the tefillah in those books.
I did it at the same time, actually.
No,
Because he wrote a prayer for everything.
he wrote a
learned.
prayer for every Torah that he learned
Every
in
time.
Likutey Moran. Because Rabbi Nachman told him to take the Torah and turn it into a tefillah.
Right.
So he said he did that. He took each Torah, and if you go through Likutey
Right, so
tefillahs,
tefillah, Birkas Shachar, or like even on this Torah, there's a corresponding prayer.
well, what we just learned today is based on is
based on the Likutey Moharan.
Likutey Moran. It's the fourth lesson in the second book. What we just learned today.
And there'll be a corresponding prayer to that.
And there's a corresponding prayer to that. Yes, sir. In Likutey tefillahs. Yes. All right. Any other questions? Okay, so everyone have a wonderful day. Kol tuv. Besorot tovot.